Good Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. We are back to normal. We will be doing this again every single day, and as promised, we will be attacking the problems that are focusing on making certain nations very, very poor, like what's happening in the United States. There is a big wave of extreme confidence with the U.S. economy because finally the United States was able to gain a surplus, a huge surplus this month, or should I say last month. And that is big news right now in the United States. And we will be talking about that in detail in the next video program that we have here at the Prosperity channel. The main topic for today is the outright ban of former Senator Tol Tolentino, one of the most productive senators in the Philippines today, and he was banned to enter China, Macau, etc., on the grounds that he was speaking in public on the outright capture of the West Philippine Sea by the People's Republic of China. And he was banned, according to the news, by the current Philippine ambassador to Chinese ambassador, Chinese ambassador to the Philippines, Huang Xilian. Did I pronounce that correctly? That would be the Honorable Ambassador of China to the Philippines, the Honorable Huang Xilian. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in fairness to the good Senator Tol Tolentino, the Philippines has been literally attacked by China 9 years ago. And they were able to put up a military base, which is about 146 plus miles from Palawan. 146 miles from Palawan. And about 546 miles all over the Visayan region. And therefore, out of patriotism, it is only but right for the good Senator Tol Tolentino to let China know that the whole Philippines is against this attack by China 9 years ago, and it has been proven by the Hague International Court of Laws that has been a long standing territory of the Filipino Republic. So based on that particular ruling that happened 9 years ago, it is only but right for the Filipinos to say that China must leave that military base in the West Philippine Seas. Probably, it would be fair to say, in the next 4 months. But that is speculative at this point in time, because we are doing our own part, Senator Tol Tolentino. I am so proud of you for your guts, for your honor, and your ability to articulate what is right and what is wrong. And therefore, I salute you, Senator Tolentino, for your actions and for your words to protect the West Philippine Seas, which is still honored all over the world by 189 nations. That particular West Philippine Sea is owned by the Philippine Republic. And therefore, to the good ambassador of China, Mr. Huang Xilian, it is only but right, your good ambassador, to voice out the opinion of the good senator, or the former senator. And we do not have any quarrel with China until that particular issue of invading the West Philippine Seas as a big thorn or a big disaster in our friendly relations. So I am very shocked as to why the good ambassador had to ban Senator Tolentino. So I would like to request the good ambassador to withdraw the particular ban on the good senator, because of, as you know, up to now, the Philippines is still a democratic country, and therefore it is only out of the right of a former senator to express his opinion, to express his desire for the Chinese military base to withdraw, hopefully in the next 4 months, effective today. Because I am about to write a proposal to the US President Donald Trump, to request China to finally withdraw that military base in the West Philippine Sea, to avoid any altercations, to avoid any disruption of world trade, and above all, to reunite our forces to make our respective economies strong, fair, and fluid in the next century. And therefore, I would like to also take this initiative to address this particular matter, because I don't think it can be solved by the Filipino people at large, because it has not been solved by President Duterte. It has not been solved currently by the DFA Secretary of President Bongbong Marcos. And therefore, I would like to say that it is only but right for the Filipino-Chinese, headed by Victor Lim of the Federation of the Filipino-Chinese Chamber of Commerce, to talk with Tessie C. Coson of Chumar, since she owns practically everything in the Philippines already. So it would be only but smart on her part to protect her interests by calling on Xi Jinping, the current supreme leader of China, and finally come out with a timetable when to withdraw, finally, the military base in the West Philippine Sea. So I would like to also propose in writing to the new DFA Secretary, Teresa, the honorable, very seasoned negotiator, Teresa Tess Lazaro, to talk with Tessie C. Coson and Victor Lim to come out with an agreement when China will finally remove the military base in the West Philippine Seas, in order to again increase the gross national product of China and the Philippines. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? When China attacked the Philippines in 2012 and controlled the West Philippine Seas, minalas na ang China. China went down and down and down and down up to now. And right now, their gross national product, I will have to come out with a trending analysis on that so it will be very accurate. In the next 5 years, will continue to go down. Simply because of the fact that the Chinese trade has been grossly affected. Because everybody is afraid to do business with China, including the United States. Because all the United States is asking is to our Chinese, to our honorable Chinese counterparts, is fair trade. Fair trade, that is it. And what's happening right now is that the Chinese exporters continues to manipulate their Chinese yuan currency. And it's endless. It has been happening for the last 3 decades. 3 decades. And that's why the smart move on the part of Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent, is to advise the President Trump, to continuously apply the pressure on increasing the tariffs. And I would like to also take this opportunity to ask the current chairman of Walmart, Mr. Gregory B. Penner, and Mr. Robson Walton, to already consider buying products, consumer products, in other parts of Asia. And I'm talking about the whole of Asia. So I'm not being biased to propose the Philippines. But I would like to propose that since the Philippines is the #1 ally of the United States of America in Asia, it is only but fitting to consider the Philippines as a manufacturing support of Walmart. And of course, other retailers. But the reason why I am proposing to Mr. Gregory B. Penner that Walmart should contain their buying of Chinese products, because every time China buys products from Walmart, it will ultimately be a threat to the United States. Because China has consistently said that they will attack Taiwan anytime soon. In fact, it might be early next year. So I don't want to put the pressure to Walmart, but to other retailers as well in the United States. The more you buy from China, the more China will use this to attack Taiwan, the Philippines, and other allies of the United States of America. I'd like to be very clear. The more you buy made in China in the United States, the more you are emboldening China to produce weapons to attack allies in Asia, such as Taiwan and the Philippine Republic. to our Chinese counterparts that are still honorable, because up to now we have no war yet, I urge you to come out with a dialogue with the new DFA Secretary, Teresa Tess Lazaro, and myself, to end our squabble, if I may. And I am going to propose to the President of the United States of America and the President of the Philippines for China to come out with a timetable to withdraw in the next 4 months in the West Philippine Seas. Because it has been 9 years that this invasion in the West Philippine Sea has been done by the People's Republic of China. And it is only but honorable, considering that 9 years ago, the international law, or should I say the honorable group of international lawyers and jurists in Hague overwhelmingly decided that the West Philippine Seas up to now is still historically, based on international law, belongs to the Philippines. And I know where the Chinese are coming from, stating that during the Song Dynasty and other dynasties in the 10th century, that portion called the South China Seas belonged to them. But that happened during the 10th century. Many wars happened during that time, from the 10th century to the 21st century, thereby this realignment. So I get it to the good ambassador of China to the Philippines. I understand where you're coming from. However, because of history, it is only but right and fitting for the Filipino Republic to reclaim what you are, what you have invaded. And upon doing so, if you were to do it in the next 4 months, the respect of the Filipino people at large, the honor of our relationships through the years, through the centuries, will be restored overnight. But right now, obviously, there is tension. Right now, we believe the Philippine Republic will be attacked by China as a pivot from this West Philippine Sea islet that you have created into a military Air Force base. And we're talking about just 146 plus miles to attack Palawan, and about 540 plus miles to attack the entire Visayan region. And so I would like to request Victor Lim and Desi Sicoso to make a statement. Because my proposal to the whole Philippines is we must fund at least 180 F-22 Raptor fighter jets in order to stop any attack of China. And that funding can start coming from the Federation of the Filipino Chamber of Commerce and the SM group of companies, because after all, they will be the ones benefiting in case there will be an attack from the West Philippine Sea's islets to attack Palawan and then the Visayan region. in less than 72 hours. And therefore, with the new DFA chairperson by the name of Teresa Tess Lazaro, I would encourage you to fly to the United States tomorrow morning and discuss this with my group, and we can propose it to the President of the United States and present it to President Bongbong Marcos in order to fly to Beijing as soon as possible to end this squabble and finally to restore back the integrity of the Philippine sovereignty. Because for the last 9 years, it has literally been in the toilet, resulting to the outburst, the very, very good outburst, timely outburst of the former senator of Tagaytay, Senator Tol Tolentino. As I said, in less than 4 months, Secretary Lazaro, we can make the People's Republic of China dismantle their occupation of the West Philippine Seas. Because if that doesn't happen, then it is very obvious that the Philippines has no more sovereignty. The Chinese no longer respect the Filipino sovereignty. The Chinese have completely stepped upon the face of the 110 million Filipinos. And it is very sad that after all these centuries, what we have done for China will be completely tarnished, will be completely adulterated, will be completely destroyed. All because of a group of misguided Chinese Politburo that have made Xi Jinping, the good supreme leader of China, attack the Philippines with no basis. And as you know, as I was telling you a while ago to my Chinese audience, because of the attack that you did, or the invasion that you did with the West Philippine Seas, your economy started to go down very, very fast. It used to be easily 8, 9, 10, 11, 12%. In fact, there was a time that it was tracking at 16%. But what is it now? All because of the fact that majority of the nations all over the world fear doing business with China. They are afraid of doing business with China. And if you will see the light finally, that we can do a joint oil exploration. By the way, all of this talk about oil is going to gush forth in that particular area are all speculative. Are all speculative. Meaning to say, we still are not sure how many so-called, we are not sure. Millions of barrels will be taken from the West Philippine Sea. So it is only but honorable for both parties to, number one, decide immediately when will China withdraw their military bases, and number two, when will we do that joint exploration? End of story. Let us not destroy our centuries, our 21 centuries of good relations. Even though Limahong attacked the Philippines and destroyed, killed so many Filipinos, we continued to live upon that. And this can be true again with the occupation of the West Philippine Seas. To my Chinese friends, my own wife is originally from China. We have our differences, obviously. That happens in any part of the world. But because of our high level of Asian maturity, we are able to overcome that. And as I said, Limahong, during the early centuries of the Negritos, of the Filipino Negritos, considered him just as a criminal pirate. Limahong did not represent China. And look at the Philippine-Chinese relations. It blossomed through the centuries. And China, the Filipino-Chinese, control more than 80% of the economy. So what is there for China to gain? The 20%? In other words, is China willing to destroy the 80% economy controlled already by the Filipino-Chinese, or the Chinese for that matter? Are they willing to destroy the 80% economy controlled already by them just to get the 20% more? And thereby kill, murder millions of Filipinos in the Visayan region in the next 72 hours, assuming the attack will be done. Is it worth it? I ask you, are you stupid enough to do that to my Chinese counterparts who are thinking of attacking the Philippines? When you already control more than 80%. So to get the 20%, are you willing to kill 1 million Filipinos in that 72 hours attack that is projected by some Chinese? Some are even here in the United States. And an animal by the name of Wendell R. Managat is extorting information from my private abode and my 2 private home offices. And I think he's selling it with the Chinese. And I already requested the FBI and the U.S. authorities to deport this animal by the name of Wendell R. Managat, sad to say, from the Philippines. In fact, he is, I think, one of the most vocal Filipinos who are anti-America. Anti-America. Oh, malakas daw siya kay John Concepcion, Yun ang sabi niya. I was telling our Filipino audience, if I may translate it to the American vernacular, he is strong. There is no accurate term to define balakas. He is, how do I put it in the American vernacular? He has strong ties, but that's not the exact translation. He has strong ties with the owners of RFM Selecta by the name of John Marie A. Concepcion. Yun ang sabi niya sa akin the last time I talked to him. Now he is extorting information from my very own wife, Nancy Tubujano, who is, by the way, Chinese, Filipino Chinese. So I am shocked as to why China blatantly continues to invade the West Philippine Seas, only to find out that at the end of the day, at the end of history, they will be gaining less than gaining more in terms of short, medium-term, and long-term economic prosperity. Again, I can prove that in the court of law. Because it's so obvious, nobody wants to deal with them anymore, including Walmart, for that matter. Takot na. They're afraid. I'm afraid. You know? In fact, there are so many rumors going on around here that I don't know, but the Chinese are really destroying Walmart. You know, there's so much animosity, there's so much tension that when you go inside a Walmart store, you might even get shot. Well, people already got shot, by the way. And the guys that are gaining a lot are the online, that's common knowledge, by the way. That has been happening for the last 20 years. You know? The online stores are the one gaining ground, because obviously you don't get shot buying online. And that's why, to our friends in China, let's stop the squabbling. We can go back to the honorable years of doing business. And actually, you're the one who's going to gain ground. China will be respected again and will be honored as a trading partner of the 189 civilized nations, including the Philippines and, of course, the United States. But if this cannot be done in an honorable way, as I said earlier, TCC Coson and Victor Lim must fund the initial 180 F-22 Raptor jet fighters to protect the Philippine nation's sovereignty before an attack is made in Palawan and the entire Visayan region. And after 100 hours, the whole Metro Manila will be pulverized by Chinese jet fighters. And the only way to stop this is to go to the West Philippine Sea and form our own military base and make sure China will not attack an inch again of the West Philippine Sea towards Palawan. So to Victor Lim and TCC Coson, you can give me a call anytime at my US cell phone number. It is 405-503-8511. We can start the funding of the 180 F-22 Raptor jet fighters to protect the sovereignty of Palawan and the Visayan region. And ultimately, the whole Philippines, starring Metro Manila, the Luzon provinces, and the provinces of Mindanao. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe at my YouTube channel. We will resolve this matter, I promise you. I have been in so many battles in my whole life, so many death threats, including the death threats I incurred when I was with RFM Selecta, such as this animal who I believe is up to now here, but I think he is about to get deported, by the name of Wendell R. Managat. Thank you. Good night. This is Gavin Batista, your host at the Prosperity Channel. Call me up for any questions, sponsorships at 405-503-8511. 8511, and my email address, superdeals1494@gmail.com. And to you, Senator Tolentino, I give you the salute, the military salute of the Filipino professionals and the Filipino veterans here in the United States of America. Thank you, good night, and see you soon.